Online, WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne sitting in today here at Radio Center. Thank you very much to Jonathan Dent for sitting in for us yesterday. Weather was a whole lot nicer yesterday than what it is today, at least as far as the sky conditions are concerned. Temperature-wise, we're warmed up rather nicely. 43 degrees at the airport, 46 here at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is at 44. Downtown Bay City is at 44. Caro over in the Thumb area, 48 degrees. Detroit is reporting 50 at this hour. We're also looking at Holland at 50 degrees, Kalamazoo at 50, Marshall 50, South Haven at 51, Benton Harbor reporting 52. So you kind of get the idea. There is a front that's cutting across southern Michigan, and it has been really a little bit further south. It was right along the Michigan border and actually just south of the Michigan border over the last 12 to 18 hours, but it's gradually beginning to work its way up. And as a result, rain shower activity overnight, very steady all along that I-69 corridor. That was the dividing line for the most part. We picked up, right around 0.4 of an inch at the airport. Some of you did pick up a little bit more than that over the last 24 hours overnight last night. But then you get a little bit further south. Detroit did pick up close to an inch of rain. Flint at Bishop Airport, almost an inch and a quarter, just under 1.2 inches. And taking a look at some of the other locations, Mount Clements, about 92 hundredths. Port Huron really wasn't all that bad. Everything seemed to taper off as the precipitation pattern moved to the east, especially once it got right around Lapeer and then a little bit further to the east. Lapeer actually had 1.75 inches reported over the last 24 hours. Burton had about 1.33 inches. Owasso looking at 1.25 inches. Durand just under 1.1 inches. Looking at 1.3 inches in Richmond. But again, as we said, isolated spots just not picking up nearly as much. Caro had 1/4 inch. Cassidy only 1/10 inch. Looking at a couple other areas, Bad Axe just barely a trace. And up in Huron County, for the most part, practically nothing in the way of moisture. Oil City over in Midland County, they were looking at 95 hundredths of an inch. And Midland Airport really didn't report much of anything in the way of moisture. Ann Arbor had 18 hundredths of an inch, so they didn't pick up quite as much as what some other locations did. Whitmore Lake, which is just north of Ann Arbor, they picked up right around 1.1 inches. The Ann Arbor area, though, only 1/4 inch. Saline, 1/10 inch. Manchester, 1/4 inch. Dearborn had 3/4 inch, and then Grosse Pointe Farms, they're talking almost 1.2 inches of rain. So you kind of get the idea where the bulk of that precipitation ran, and that's the reason why there are flood warnings up down in that part of the state. And those warnings are going to continue as we go through all night tonight. And for the most part, during a good part of the day tomorrow. Now, that line, that warm front, is going to be working its way up through the state. So as we not so much get through the afternoon hours today here in the Great Lakes Bay area, but overnight tonight and early into Wednesday morning, we're going to see that front approach. Temperatures will continue to climb. And it does appear as though our high temperature for the day, which should be right around 50 degrees, is going to be reached, if not right at midnight, just before midnight, because our low tomorrow night, or tonight, is right around that 50-degree mark. But then it's going to continue to climb. We're looking at cloudy skies, scattered showers around yet this afternoon, very widely scattered. We're going to have an east breeze to take a look at, if not actually a little bit more northeasterly. Currently, we have a northeast wind at 14, and the barometer is rising at 30.02. But low pressure, which is right now situated over Nebraska, is going to be taking a northeasterly course. It's going to move up into southern Minnesota overnight tonight. And along with it, it's going to be pushing that warm front up through the lower peninsula. So that's why the temperatures are going to continue to rise and the chances of precipitation will continue to increase because especially after midnight, we're looking at the chances of showers kicking in here pretty good as that warm front does move up. And during the day tomorrow, we're projecting a high temperature of 71 with thunderstorm activity around. Now, whereabouts are we going to see the most severe? Well, at this stage of the game, the entire lower peninsula is under a chance. It might be slight, but there will be a chance simply because that warm front will be moving up through, carrying quite a bit of Gulf air, quite a bit of unsettled air, and a lot of moisture associated with that air as well. So don't be surprised if you do set a rain gauge out today, because you're not going to have to worry about it freezing. You could very easily see by tomorrow morning an inch, maybe an inch and a half on your back porch. Cloudy skies, thunderstorms around tomorrow. 71 is our projected high. But as we go through the afternoon, when the cold front moves through, that's going to be the best chance of seeing severe thunderstorms because there is quite a temperature variant from ahead of that front to behind the front. The low pressure that's causing all of this is going to be over western sections of the Upper Peninsula and western Lake Superior. It's going to be moving up in a northeasterly direction up into Canada, and it's going to push that cold front through tomorrow afternoon before sunset, because as we approach sunset, our skies are going to be clearing. And many of you very possibly could see a sunset tomorrow night. The front will zip through, and then on Thursday, it'll be definitely cooler, where tomorrow we're going to be looking at 71 for a high. Thursday, we're only looking for a high of about 48. So, but a lot more in the way of sun. Then clear skies on Thursday night. We're going to drop down to about 29 degrees. Now, what are the winds going to be doing over this period of time? Well, we've got that east-northeast breeze right now. It's going to become more east-southeast as we go into the nighttime hours tonight, and the winds will pick up a little bit. They'll be gusting close to 30 miles per hour tonight with that chance of some thunderstorm activity. And again, as I said, the best chance of seeing that in the Great Lakes Bay area is going to be after midnight. Then as we go into the day tomorrow, there'll be a chance of some thunderstorms around 71, 72 maybe for a high tomorrow. Our wind is going to change and become more southerly during the day initially, about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And then as the warm front gets closer, the wind direction is going to be changing a little bit, more coming out of the southwest and gusting to 30, possibly 35 miles per hour. Then when the front moves through close to sunset, if not a little bit before tomorrow, the wind will become more westerly. Temperatures will be beginning to drop, and we'll see wind gusts of close to 40 miles per hour as that front moves through. Behind the front is where we're going to get the 36 degrees for a low tomorrow night. And we're going to have a wind chill to contend with because we're going to be looking at a west wind gusting to 40 miles per hour. The higher winds are not going to die down as we go through the day on Thursday, as we indicated with a high of 48. We're going to have a west wind, and that'll be gusting up to 40, 45 miles per hour on Thursday. Winds will die down later in the afternoon and the early evening on Thursday with mostly clear skies and a low of 29. Then on Friday, sunshine, Good Friday, 50 degrees, partly cloudy skies Friday night, 32. Then on Saturday, partly cloudy, 56 for a high, 39 for a low. And then Easter Sunday, that sunrise service, you're going to see the sun. It does appear as though we're going to be looking at sunshine to start the Easter Sunday off, middle 60s for a high on Easter Sunday, 48 for a low on Sunday night. And there will be a chance, once again, of seeing some shower activity, and that will spill over into Monday. Still not a real good chance of rain on Sunday night. A little bit of a chance scattered on Monday. Middle 60s for a high on Monday. All the way through the 17th of the month, we're going to be looking at temperatures beginning with the Easter weekend above average for this time of the year. Precipitation pattern at or below for this time of the year. Record high in this state is 76, set back in 1921. The record low 15, set in 1954. A year ago today was really interesting. April 4th of last year, our high was 39 and our low was 32. We had some icing occur a year ago today. We had 0.2 of an inch of liquid precipitation, no snow. Sun will set this evening at 8:06, rise tomorrow morning at 7:11. Incidentally, the record high amount of precipitation on this date, the 4th, is a little bit better than 1 1/10 inches. That was set back in 1947. And back in 1920, we had 5 inches of snow. Incidentally, tomorrow, the record high amount of snowfall, I'll check on the year, but I remember distinctly it was just under 11 inches of snow. Record snowfall on April the 4th. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Doug Klein is standing by. We'll be talking to him in just a moment. But before we get to all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment. If you've ever wondered how the Farm All got its name, there's a whole lot of reasons why. The reason why there's that many reasons why it's called the Farm All is because it has a horsepower range of anywhere from 35 to 140 horsepower. So it can do just about anything. It'll tackle just about any job to get that job done right. And the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth will show you what that Farm All tractor can do. That's because they carry a wide range of Case IH Compact Farm All Series tractors. You're going to find the right fit for your operation. Everywhere from the Value Pack Compact Farm All A to the Deluxe Compact Farm All C and C Series with cabs. The tractor does it all, so no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red. It's called Farm All. Learn more about the Case IH Farm All tractors at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Doug, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
Hey, I think we're doing okay. I got the boat out just in case. So far, I haven't had to use it. But boy, I'm telling you, Saturday morning that was something else. We had quite a storm go through. I don't know how you were in your backyard, but we had a lot of water laying.
Yeah.
And the creeks are getting a good workout here again this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And they will tomorrow morning.
Beats a tornado.
We don't even want to think.
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting, though, looking back in the history. It's been, I recall when, Detroit Tiger baseball was running in April, there used to be quite a few days where there were tornado watches up. The game would be pushed back an hour or two because of tornado watches and warnings down in Detroit. It's been 18 years since we've had more than 2 tornado watches in April. Do you know that?
Wow.
Yeah. So there's probably going to be one tomorrow. That would be my guess.
Great.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah.
Del Piero.
So, but the way these weather patterns are shaping up this year, there's been a lot of watches and warnings and tornadoes in March and in April, not uncharacteristically high, but still a lot more than what we've experienced over the past few years. But here in Michigan, it's been that long since we've had projections of a stormy April. So we'll just have to see what happens. Fingers crossed that we don't have to
Yeah.
worry about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of fingers crossed, every time I talk to you, I got fingers crossed.
Profit taking is what they say. Dead cat bounce is what I say. Yesterday she bounced up, and today she's bouncing down. The economy is slowing down according to some economic numbers that came out. So they surveyed some of the bond markets a little bit, and the bond market now predicts that there's a 47% chance that he raises interest rates in May. The first week of May is the Fed meeting. 53% chance that he doesn't. So I don't know. And they're all talking a quarter. And then same odds for lowering interest rates by July. So basically, the Fed has done their job on slowing the economy down. Let's see if they can stop the slide a little better than, say, a train that comes derailed, which seems to be prevalent lately.
Mm-hmm. Well, trying to slow one thing down and trying to perk one thing up, it's like walking and chewing gum. There are people that can't do it.
It's always overshooting.
Yep.
Especially with interest rates. You gotta be ultra quick or ultra lucky, and hopefully it can be both. But yeah, so that's what's going on. I mean, the OPEC countries, they basically said, hey, we're gonna slow down production on oil. Jumped it up $4.50 yesterday. Didn't even have to do it. All they had to do is say we're going to do it. And, they stopped the slide, and basically all these markets, 100% of markets trade on AI. And if the market's moving down, they know it's going to keep going down unless they step in and say something. So they did, and they got their way temporarily. But you just got to wonder. I mean, you just wonder sometimes. But the dollar's getting hit fairly hard today. It's 101.60, so that's the lowest it's been in a while. Like the British pound, the euro, they're both at June and July highs, so they're both going up. And precious metals skyrocketing. Silver's up 4% today, and gold and platinum both up around 2% today. So I don't know. That's what's going on. Here's your numbers. The May corn 649.5, down 8.25. December corn 562, down 5.5. May soybeans 1509.75, down 12.25. The November soybeans 1316, down 16.75. May wheat is 692.25, down 1.25, and December wheat 734.5, down 3.75. Crude oil is at 80.12, down 30 cents. Heating oil is 262.37, down 4 cents. Gasoline is 272.05, down 3.75 cents. Natural gas, pretty close to a new low, 208.5. That's down 1.25 cents. By the way, propane on the wholesale is somewhere around 79 cents a gallon. And I called, my source over there in Caro, and she said that they're selling for $2 to $1.95, something like that, for 500 gallons. And I asked her, I said, hey, when are we going to expect a little bit of relief on this? I mean, the spread on that's $1.30 a gallon.
Yeah.
It's kind of sort of ridiculous. And she's like, my hands are tied. It's somebody in the middle, some billionaire in the middle is just stabbing us in the back, and whatever. That's the world we live in nowadays. But flipping over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3448 Canadian. That's up 13 ticks. The dollar buys 131.69 yen. That's down 72 ticks. The euro's at 109.54, up 59 ticks. And the dollar's at 101.59. That's down 50 ticks. Gold is at $20.22.80. That's up $38.90. Silver's $25.03. It's up $1.01. And platinum's at $10.11. That is up $24.10.
All right. You have a good one.
Okay, you too.
Talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. What's going on the board as it reflects what's going on in Chicago? Well, MAC in Breckenridge tells us right now the wheat is up a penny. White wheat at $6.44, the red wheat at $6.09. New crop $7.07 for the white, $6.37 for the red. Corn is down $6.16. New crop at MAC is down a nickel at $5.02. The soybeans are down 7 at $14.85. The new crop is down 15 at $12.58. We've had a few folks comment to us about what's been going on with our pork prices, because we do give those at our 12:30 break, what's going on in the hog complex. And right now, pork prices aren't performing nearly as well as what a lot of producers would like. What's the reason for it?
Well, if you're a pork producer, then you've noticed how the market value for lean hogs has dropped quite a bit over the past month and a half.
Comes back to simple supply and demand. And right now, the demand just isn't there for the supply.
And that's Carl Setzer, commodity risk analyst with AgriVisor. Back on February 21st, the current month contract for lean hogs were trading at nearly $90 a hundredweight. But earlier this week, prices had fallen to nearly $74, and that's a drop of more than 14.5% over the past 6 weeks.
Really, what's getting on pork production here lately is the simple volume of pork we have. Cold storage report came out, showed inventories up on the year. We did see the hog and pig report come out. 2% less hogs in the United States, which is a bullish number, but we still have a tremendous amount of pork to work through. And a 2% decline in hogs is not going to offset that right now.
He says another factor impacting prices is that the weights of hogs have been on the rise.
You know, we look at the hog numbers, we look at cattle numbers. When we look at the weights, that's where the big factor starts to come in, because we can process fewer hogs, but if the weights are heavier, it's still a moot point on your total pork production.
Setzer believes that futures prices for lean hogs will likely pick back up over the summer months.
Pork a little bit more affordable than beef right now, and definitely more plentiful. I wouldn't be too surprised if we don't see some domestic pork consumption numbers jump up a little bit.
As a farmer, you're always thinking ahead, planning and preparing for the next season. You know that a profitable yield depends on weather and timing. While Morgan Composting can't control the weather, they can save you time, from enhancing your soil before planting season with Dairy Dew compost blends to boosting growth with Dairy Dew granulated fertilizers, and finishing the growing season strong with powerful liquid foliants made with kelp, humic, and fulvic acid. Morgan Composting has everything you need to get things going and get things growing in a complete package. Whether your farming operation is a greenhouse, an orchard, or thousands of acres of row crops, save time by getting your entire fertility plan made in one place. Morgan Composting, serving Michigan farmers for more than 25 years. Call the soil health experts now at Morgan Composting or visit dairydew.com to learn more.
Dairy Dew. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. And by the folks at Steiner Tractor, new parts for old tractors made easy. All you got to do is give them a call. Whatever you need, the chances are pretty good they've got that part in stock. They can get it right out to you. 800-234-3280 or go to their website at steinertractor.com. Let's check and see what's going on in New York on the New York markets right now. We have Steve Vanderson with Baird & Company. Steve, what are we doing right now?
Well, good morning, Terry. Right now, we've got quite a bit of red sitting here staring at us. Dow Jones Industrial Average is at 33,379. That's down 222 points on 316 million shares. The NASDAQ is at 12,142. That's down 47 on 318 million shares. Locally, Caterpillar 217.74, down 12.13. Deere 399.54, down 15.45. CMS 61.16, up 13. Dow 5409 down 124. DuPont 7020 down 169. Corteva 6011 down 89. GM 3546 down 81. Trinzio 2069 down 58. Walmart 147.62 down 108. Huntington Banks 1078 down 39. Independent Bank 1717 down 90. And AT&T is ahead by 11 cents at 19.50. And I'm quitting while I got one that's up.
I think that's a great idea. You have a great day.
I will. You do the same.
Take care. Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. We'll be right back.
Star of the West Milling Company is hiring. Star of the West is looking for hardworking, self-motivated people to join the team for the 2023 spring season. A career opportunity open house is Thursday, April 6th at 4 p.m. at 3761 East Wademan Road in Rosebush. Star of the West is looking for yard help, CDL drivers, and custom application team members. You must be able to pass a DOT physical and drug screen. Certain qualifications are necessary. See Star of the West on April 6th from 4 till 7 p.m. in Rosebush for more information. Star of the West Milling is an equal opportunity employer.
The latest report came out as far as our crops are concerned here in Michigan. And according to the NASS people from Department of Agriculture, winter wheat across the state has yet to break dormancy. What does it look like as of right now? Well, according to the latest projections, as of Sunday, only about 7% of the winter wheat crop is rated poor to very poor. 12% is rated excellent, and just a hair under 80% is projected to be good, average for this time of the year. And obviously the topsoil is really wet. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton,